came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's two open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate ones. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth, I cannot in cotton shopping. Aquaponic, chronic options. Botanizing and pot concoction. Earth a thought, her twat is rotten. Knowledge of my art forgotten. Watch the conscious sovereign doctrine. Not dishonest prophet goblins. Boxing out the box, I'm boxed in. Black magic, black yoni, black phallus. How they turn kings and queens to crack addicts. How they make us lose our sight like bad glasses. They know we invented original mathematics. Black magic, treat home like at Sabbath. I can hear beautiful music and bad static. I attract cash in bags like that's Magnus. Last Maverick, blast fast like Zab Jabbit. Black magic, black yoni, black...
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions, man.
Wellness Salute, family.
Indeed, indeed. Before we start, we got a great segment. Just wrapped up a great segment. I got to give a shout out to Brother Panic. Brother Panic will be speaking in NYC for the first time in over a decade.
Classic.
I'm bringing metaphysics back to Brooklyn, y'all. So everybody that's into the metaphysical movement that was alive during the LIU days, the golden era consciousness, it's returning back to Brooklyn. It's returning at the Black Lady Theater November 19th. The Brother Panic will be speaking on the multidimensional nature of the soul.
Come on.
Understanding the technology of being God in a human body. We are much more than this human vessel if only we believe that.
Come on.
We will see the results.
Meta-humans. Let's go.
You can go to www.blackmagic363.eventbrite.com for advance tickets, or call the phone number that's on the flyer that's on your screen. With that being said, we got an interesting an important conversation tonight. Should I say? We in Harlem tonight, y'all.
Come on, in Harlem. Woo! Uptown, baby.
Listen, there's well, besides Trump dominating the news, that's been going on throughout the whole year.
Right.
We got the situation with Harvey Weinstein dominating the news.
Wow.
I talked briefly with Griff about it. But this story seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where there's a hashtag called Me Too that not only deals with Harvey Weinstein, but deals with people that have been abused, primarily females. There have been some males. Terry Crews came forward.
Right.
A dude from, I think, Dawson's Creek, the show on WB, he came forward, said he got touched up.
Donnie Jr. Well, Iron Man. He. I don't know if he got touched up, but he echoed.
What, Robert Downey?
Yeah, he was talking about. I'm not sure if he got touched by Weinstein, but he did say he came up and said this is really going on. He just echoed the climate. Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit off the camera before we started. Supanova came up with this title of the mismanagement of male power, male energy, male power, male energy, the male principle. We gotta talk about this, man. A lot of abuse happening, a lot of abuse has happened, and a lot of abuse will happen. I don't want to be negative, but we're trying to prevent abuse from happening in the future. What's going on with the mismanagement? How did this happen? When did it? I mean, where did it start from? Did this happen before we was here in America? Did this happen before integration? Did this happen in Africa? Did this happen when we were Moors? When did this mismanagement of this male power first started to take place? Because when you go to a psychiatrist, the first thing they want to know is about your childhood. When did this start? What happened to you as a child? What happened to us as men where we felt as though we could dominate younger men? The situation with Bambaataa earlier this last year, or we could dominate women because we see them as inferior to us. Talk to me about what you call the mismanagement of the male principle or male power.
Male power, yes. Blue?
in this society in particular, you know what I'm saying, under Americanism, under this particular religion, it seems that the impetus for acquiring power in this country is to abuse it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I think that that is a direct result, top down, you know, from the foundational aspects of what Americanism is, or Western civilization, right? Especially as Greco-Roman aspects of it, you know, it's very dominating to the male principle.
Yeah.
Denuding, you know what I'm saying? Other, you know, males, you know, you have to exert yourself alphally in a position or you know, whatever this particular designation is. And with Europeans and initially Africans, quote unquote, indigenous for that matter, you know, the power dynamic was, you're physically stronger than me. You know what I'm saying? But I got a hand up on you either based on intellectualism or this gun. You know what I'm saying? That hammer, right? But to dominate you and break you down, I'm gonna do that sexually, because your physical attributes, your power derives from, you know what I'm saying, your manhood, which is sexual in nature. You know what I'm saying? So on reservations or plantations for that matter, there was a breaking down of the bull, the black bull, of the buck. You know what I'm saying? So, and there was a subjugation of the woman. You know what I'm saying? Based on the fact that I'm gonna muddy this whole situation up. You feel me? And do whatever I want with it. You know what I mean? And then give her back to you. You understand?
Wow.
The acquisition of power just to abuse it. So if we're dealing with this whole aspect of Stockholm syndrome, and they say you learn from your oppressor, then what have we learned but that same thing? You know what I'm saying? The acquisition of power to abuse it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay you back when I'm bigger. Okay? Revenge is a plate served best cold. You understand?
To get back.
I want to be successful just to get my haters back. Let's see what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? And because as a people, we have been denuded of identity, and also, you know, this aspect of power is so fleeting for us. You know, we can only identify power as, oh, I'm doing better than them niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know, so again, the thing that motivates you best or most is to get power so you can flaunt it over those who don't have power. That makes you more powerful, right? I don't know if that's completely American in origin, you know what I'm saying? But that's where we find ourselves at. If we step back and we look at that particular ideology, to see that the subjugation of people who are not necessarily as quote unquote powerful as, whether it's physical subjugation, whether it's a financial subjugation, because the quote unquote Jews on Eastern Parkway are not physically domineering more so than any one of us. You know what I'm saying? But they exert
but they are mentally
economic,
and economically.
economic level of dominance over people. To when they walk amongst you, you know they sizing you up like, huh, if you only knew. You understand? So just based on my observations about how this thing has been playing out, especially with the Harvey Weinstein, and you know, him sitting at the apex of the pyramid in Hollywood, you know, it trickles down. This is standard
culture.
Behavior. This is culture. You know what I mean? But it also spills out into society. This is also, you know what I mean? Everybody that's joined and showing up for that party, this is the tune that they dance to. So I want to just open it up and let y'all brothers go.
You know, so now there's a few things that came from that, Blue. One of the things that comes to mind is we're taking on a foreign manifestation of what manhood is. So it's not, we're not, our examples of manhood are from our the ones who have dominated us, right? And the oppressor who oppressed us, right? And so this is what we're manifesting into ourselves and into our families, into our society, our cultural societies. And so we're not even in our natural state as men. There's something fighting in us as indigenous men, that there's something that our ancestors may be speaking to us to do something different. And it's in direct opposition with what has been programmed in us, right? So what happens is, you have black men or so-called black men in America that are alphas, not based on dominance, but more mentally, right? And they, the ones who are wise, they try to mirror that amongst other men and teach them by example. Unfortunately, they're not saluted and celebrated. So the men that are celebrated are the men that have been conquered by the oppressors, and how those men are articulated. So, my thug self. There's two faces to a thug. Tupac is a great example. The thug self, one thug self of your Pac self would be, I'm a ride on my enemies, I'm banging everybody. The other thug self, my other thug self of Pac, my other Pacian thug self would be, Brenda's got a baby, keep your head up, dear mama, right? Let's all, I want to see Bloods and Crips come down the hood, that, right? So that's the struggle we deal with. So the question becomes, which warrior, alpha of my attribute do my women acknowledge and celebrate? If the eldership is to pass on a powerful example, to be a good father figure, even if you're not a physical father, pass on, disseminate information. Is that celebrated by my woman in the multitude? Or is this me that, fuck, F that nigga, I'm gonna do me, I don't care, smashing anybody coming my way? Is that side selling? So what I'm seeing though, and this is no shot at my sisters, I'm seeing that what's celebrated, what the side of me that's celebrated is my conquered self. Not my potential self. My ratchet side of myself, it's celebrated. My ratchet side is what makes you want me more, makes you think, you salute that, you may give money to that and credence to that, and there's a structure that supports that. And the more I come up through the chain of command and my ratchet thugs, that lower thug self, I know a part of me really knows it's better than that, but because my women in the society exalts me there, now I'm locked into that paradigm.
Makes her moist.
And now I bring my drops home. I initiate other black men into that paradigm, even though I know it's a conflict. They know it's a conflict. And because the adoration of our woman seems to be exalting of my lower self, then that's the side that we tend to trope towards. And it's unfortunate until we get to the era of the Weinstein, right? When the abuse of him, of that thug self, the ratchet self, has hurt so many souls, himself and other women.
Yes.
Raped, molested, the damage, where now the revelations is coming out. And so the conversation becomes, I'm passing it to Red, you can continue this bill, beloved. We need to restore the power, the true power of the alpha, and no longer support the lower, unproductive side of ourselves that are not allowing us to be in our full potential. Now, it's not saying that we're not embracing our journey, our thuggish, ruggish journey, right? But there's a point where you have to begin to journey in, as the journeyman, begin to ascend. And I will pass it to Ray.
Man, you brothers definitely have covered and said some real great points. You know, when I think about alpha male, you know, I tend to kind of equate that to the lion that's in the jungle. And when you look at the way that the alpha male of today has expressed itself, it would be more Mustafa than it would be, what's my guy? What's the other dude? Scar? It would be more Scar.
Okay.
Than it would be Mustafa.
Okay. Right.
You understand? The lion who rules, or the lion who exerts his strength with fear. Because when you hear about the accounts of Harvey, when the males particularly are speaking about him, they say that he's a bully. Right? When you hear the men, you know, the men who knew what was going on,
Right.
you know, their message to the world when they're condemning Harvey Weinstein is, yeah, I'm glad that the bully is gone. You feel me? He was a bully. He was overbearing. He was thuggish, ruggish with the bone, right? He was a thug, right? He was the version. He was the Jewish version, a Jewish mogul version, but he was out here gorilla pimping. He was thugging it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And like Blue said earlier, you know, they don't talk about the fact that Harvey Weinstein likes boys. That hasn't come out yet, but eventually, hopefully that will come forth, because he wasn't really into the women like that. He was really into the boys. You know what I'm saying?
And breaking them down. Right.
Breaking them down. But was he a victim of his culture? Because it was shown to us. It was shown to us that when they're babies, the way that they were circumcised
by the rabbi,
by, you know what I mean, oral. It was an oral
rabbi giving them head.
The rabbi was giving them sloppy toppy.
Right.
It was an oral circumcision by their rabbis. Remember, he comes from the community that he just mentioned, that you see in Eastern Parkway, trying to size you up. You know what I mean? So we have not, as alphas, our brothers, in this post gangster hip hop paradigm, right? Not the 70s where Teddy and, you know what I'm saying, where you had, you know, these figures. But
I consider them brothers was alphas.
But
they approach.
But
it was different.
Even with that being said,
with a velvet touch.
What was the element of those generations that were abusing our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties? Because although them percentages was real high coming out of the house, coming out of those eras.
They were.
You feel me? So, you know, although the music was based in love, 587 hertz, and, you know, it was, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was no DMX back then. You know, the babies wasn't being born to, you know, to DMX. The frequency I'm speaking of.
Yeah, definitely.
The frequencies. You dig what I'm saying? And all that. All I'm saying is that was still prevalent, but the lions of the jungles were still in cages because they were still under the boot of an open oppressor, even more so back then than it is now. It was covert and it was overt then.
Right. So I always ask, in terms of exertion, energy exertion, right? If your oppressor got you in your feelings all day, every day, because we knew the music, even in the 60s and the 70s, was expressing like, look, we understand it, you know, somebody's pressing us. You feel me? And if you can't get that off your chest, who you gonna get that off on?
If you're not hitting back when they hit you.
If you ain't hitting back when they hit you, you're gonna go home and you're gonna start unloading.
And it was conditioned to do that. And when you look at the see right now, I mean, listen, you know, I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I mean, you see it play out in hip hop. The overt androgyny, the overt homosexuality amongst the brothers now is because of the over dominance of the male energy. The misappropriation of the male energy.
Hypermasculinity.
Yes, hypermasculinity that is pronounced from the womb of a inorganic male example for indigenous people. So basically, your oppressor is giving you an example of what manhood is, not from your lens of success, but from a lens of dysfunction. And then your women, over time and more, you have been supporting your dysfunction.
Praising it.
And even those amongst us that want to be functional,
they've been taking a knee.
They want to, they want to be functional amongst us. The functional are not celebrated. The functional ain't got that bag. The functional ain't flashy, right? So when you look at there's a few functional ones that are successful, but amongst the multitude of us, it seems like the functional brothers are more exalted and have the trappings of the material world. With that being said, your oppressor knighted that attribute, the woman followed suit, and then we continued this perpetuation of the dysfunction. So my question is this, to my twin pillars, and Brother Rich, please chime in. You know, I feel it, and I want to give my brother's opinions, is it time that the alpha in this age of Aquarius, this moment, we collectively redefine what balanced manhood is? Do y'all think it's necessary?
Imperative? It is.
Please be with the people.
It's life and death at the end of the day. At this point.
And I think even in hip hop, we was given a perfect example of where it starts. It starts with contrition. 444. You know what I'm saying? The brother took an amazing step, an amazing leap of faith to say, look, I'm gonna go out on a limb and put my life, you know what I'm saying, my life story in the hands of the public and publicly ask for the forgiveness of this woman that I cheated on, that I abused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I abused. I abused her trust. You know what I'm saying? I abused her sanity. You feel me? I abused this connection that me and her, this bond that we've created. You know what I'm saying? Because more than likely, you know, she's allowing that man to have, you know what I'm saying, unprotected sex with her. And I mean, these are all factors that the shit might roll off of us like 3M. We don't really pay that much attention to it. But these are the things that are causing the travesties. These are the things that are causing the course to be cut for the women to be like, I'm good on all that.
So I'm
You know what
getting
I'm
from
saying?
you is that
I'm not even swerving. I'm going
So I'm getting from you, brother. Part of the healing would be for the restoring male power would be to be transparent.
Yes.
Come clean, as they would say.
I am proposing a Day of Atonement.
A Day of Atonement. Yes, for male power. Now, we're not talking about a Romanic Greco power, because that we've seen what has done to us. Now, I know a lot of us like the 300, we like the conquering situation, but that has not really got us anything to be building on. It's just really got us to dominate each other and really hurt each other. So
I believe,
yes, brother.
I don't mean to cut your whiz. I believe it was Irritated Genie who had brought up some very interesting points in a lecture that I was privy to a few years ago. And he spoke about homosexuality from the standpoint of a Greco-Roman, with dominance as being a means to conquer your enemy.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Being able to penetrate your enemy in the fact that, you know, as a form of domination through sexually.
Right.
And, you know, the fact that we live in this westernized society, and, you know, this westernized society, the foundation of it is Greco-Roman culture.
It's based, right.
You know what I'm saying? So what we've been taught, or how we've been reared, you know what I mean, through our social engineering and our social programming, because we are these caged lions. We're not free to roam. We're not inside of the jungle. We're in a zoo. You understand? So we're subject to the value system. We're subject to the Greco-Roman mentality. We're subject to romance or Roman antics, the way that we even have sex. Domination, right? What has
smack it, flip it, rub it down, beat it down.
You got it. They said if you don't choke her, you don't love her.
Box it up, roll it up, smash it up.
What they be doing in Jamaica? Daggering?
Dagger.
You gotta beat it up.
See, but then it goes away. What do our women, what DMX say? What a woman want from a nigga, right? What do our women want? Do they want us to be loving and sensitive, and or they just want us to be the daggering lion? So that's what it comes to. And again,
it was told to me that they cannot reach orgasm.
Right.
When you digging for oil, when you're fracking and shit.
Yeah, you gotta,
you know?
fracking.
And then they said 70%, I believe the number said that 70% of the women.
Wait. We gotta marinate with that, man. Did you just say fracking the yoni? Fracking the poo-poo? That is fracking the yoni. Oh my God, we need some healing. Brother Rich, we need some healing, Brother Rich.
We need some healing.
We out here fracking the womb? Wow. Hey, Nick, please build on your what you came from, brother.
It was told to me that 70%, hold that, it's getting warm up in this clip. 70% of the women that we come into contact with, our sisters, the goddesses, these beautiful women, have not received orgasms through vaginal intercourse.
Wow. That's deep.
That's what it was told to me. This was the number that was given. 70%.
That's a lot of deprived sisters.
Achieved vaginal orgasm. So dudes is just busting it and running.
I don't know what they doing, because I'm not there all the time. But it was told to me that there's a lot of sexual frustration as a result of these orgasms not being achieved through vaginal intercourse. Like, you know, they got the toys and whatnot, and you know, there's the fellatio and aspect stuff to achieve the orgasm.
Right.
But that's what was said.
I mean, yeah, because I think that if you undervalue her sexuality, you're really not looking to take the time to make sure that she gets to that certain place. Y'all is in a marathon to see who get there first. And when dude get there, you know what I'm saying? There's not a level of canned comfort that's being.
Can I keep it 100 with you, Blue? See, a man has never came and had an orgasm until he has merged with that womb. I'm talking about taking time to circumnavigate that yoni and worshiping her and give her full attentiveness. Because see, the orgasm first happens in the consciousness. It doesn't happen in the body first. It happens in the mind. She has to visualize her coming. First, you have to get it to visualization. And then you have to nurture with her, be patient with her with the visualization. Now, this patience, brother, allows you to access your male power. Now, you are both cosmic antennas. As you are breathing and she is breathing, you are actually encoding the cosmology into you through her and back it up through her into the cosmos. It's reciprocal, right? So it happens first spiritually and mentally. Then the physical eruption or the sexual eruption is the result of two souls at that point concentrating. So if you're daggering and you're jamming it and ramming it and thinking about the baseball game or the Cavs versus the Warriors, you are not present with the womb. And she's gonna be neglected. Brothers, you have to be present with the womb. And to be present with the womb is the gift. Because see, man's role, his true alpha role, not Greco-Roman, his true indigenous alpha role is to be of service, hence the term serviceman. He's a serviceman. He's supposed to serve into her.
Okay,
and that service, beloved, she then knights him. You ever seen the scene with the warriors knighted by the queen into battle? So once he is humble to serve her, she would knight him she would knight him into power. And then he continues to serve ultimately. Yes, Blue.
Is that why women be looking for dudes with uniforms on?
It's you guys. Hey, salute, brother. but it's the attribute. It's the attribute. The serviceman. It's more of an act, more than a literal from the actual suit. It's more the principle to serve. Yes.
Question is though, where could a young man acquire this level of skill at?
So, brothers, you got it here. you got the conversation starts in this bill. But yes, brother Red.
The question that Blue just asked, and what you were about to build on, because I want you to continue that. I just want to add on that because of the era that we came up in, we're talking 90s.
Yes.
We're talking the rise, not just the rise of hardcore hip hop, not just the rise of gangster rap, the rise of hardcore pornography. Because you gotta remember when mommy and daddy stopped talking to us about
sex,
how to hit the corners and all of these other things and being a serviceman. Where do we get our sex ed from? Sex ed 101. I didn't learn sex ed in school.
You're right, brother.
You know what I'm talking about? The old
Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus taught us.
Leslie Pipe.
And Superhead taught us. You know, all the trappings.
That's real talk.
I've heard.
That's real talk.
As of recently, especially, a lot of sisters giving me testimonials about they like, look, they didn't know how to give toppers until they seen Superhead. You know what I'm saying? This was a lot of sisters, and I'm, you know.
Right.
And we had, I'm telling myself, you know, I'm 40 plus, and I've been engaged since a very young age. You know what I'm saying? So
I've been cleared up.
Talk about it.
You know, that's too open-ended. I've been engaged
in intercourse with young women since a very young age. And
what age would you knighted, brother? What age would you knighted? 9. Oh, wow. 9.
Damn.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Did I go to the bathroom?
No.
Continue, Blue.
So there's different levels of education that I've noticed, you know, these young women have acquired through time. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, some of it was passed down through older women that they know. Some of it was passed down through older brothers that taught them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's now this generation that, you know, just like our young men have learned online, the young women are learning online.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even more so, I got a testimonial from a millennial.
What they say?
I'm dead ass. She
What they
was
say?
like,
What they say?
all we watch is porn.
Wow.
And she was like, anal sex is nothing. She was like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. Like, fam, what are you talking about? She said that when we started watching pornography at a very young age, it seemed as if that was the go-to before the vaginal intercourse. Like I said, going back to you always have to factor in, and this is the Weinstein conversation, because we're dealing with the social programmers or the social engineers who broadcast how to carry out. They've been programming us sexually via Hollywood and through the record industry. This is the quote unquote people from Eastern Parkway. Ever since they've been in control. So San Fernando Valley, which the pornography industry emanates their spell from, is the same. Harvey Weinstein and dude over there in San Fernando Valley, they go to the same they are the same family members.
Right.
They
Understand that?
go to the same synagogue.
They go to the same synagogue.
Right.
So hold on.
Yeah.
So the rise, the same time, because prior to that it was missionary.
Yeah. Right.
Niggas just laying down.
That's what I was about to say. You know, as freaky as the 70s was, as much coke was being distributed and things of that nature.
Right.
And it seems to be a blur because we are so far along, but that conversation was not taking place. Women were not taking it anally. Like,
Little
even
Kim,
head,
take it in the buns.
even head wasn't a given.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Culturally, it still was a level of taboo attached to that.
I think you
Now
had to
it's
be
a
super fly.
prerequisite. Yeah.
So
So, you know, I remember like 02, 03, you know what I'm saying? When the porno started proliferating, specifically from Latin America. Now, we know about the boys from Brazil. We know about, you know, all of the sexual pogroms that was taking place in Latin America by way of the church.
Facts.
So
Facts.
the anal sex and all of that was already part of their culture. The Portuguese,
Through the conquistadors.
yeah, through the conquistadors. The Portuguese had brought it in through Brazil. They showed you that in what was that joint called? City of God. City of God.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? They spoke about that there. You got boys of Brazil. You got all of these different situations that show you the acculturation of that society and how they got broken in.
Right.
Okay. So when they brought that on the porn side of things, especially right here in the streets of Harlem, when you can walk from boulevard to boulevard, from river to river, and that's all you seen on the floor. You understand?
Pornography, open air.
So again, this became the acculturation of Harlem at the time. Cam was
And
sucking
Dipset
the
was
knot.
popping,
Yeah, Dipset was popping.
But Little Kim
Yeah.
with Taking in the Buns, what?
I'm saying
Her and Foxy, but
that,
more
that
so
was the
Kim.
introduction of the conversation, because shorties
That
was
was
like,
yeah, but it was
We
already
doing that?
bubbling. Yeah.
So then again, it goes back to what do our sisters night these days? Are they nighting someone that is coming in, is going to come into their church, shrine, mosque, cathedral, their holy temple, their body, with a consciousness that is of that? Are they going to give him access, or are they only going to give access to,
But
no, the
because
rapture?
look what happens.
Right.
Kim's with all the willies, right?
Right.
The willies by proxy are ultimately the alphas, okay? Because they
Facts.
control the jungle.
Right.
So they're like, oh, if this is what the willies is doing, when she run into a willie, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Automatically, she's like, look, and she's campaigning to tie this brother down.
Right.
Get the bag.
Okay? Her competition
Right.
is kind of fierce out there.
Right.
She's willing to do whatever she got to do to lock that brother down. And she's like, oh, so this what y'all into?
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying? And
right,
he's
right.
just stepping into that place. So, yeah, she's going to be acknowledging to say, all right, if this is your sexual appetite, the sexual proclivities of the alpha,
Right.
is that's whatever he say go in the jungle, that's whatever go.
It was
you know what I'm
never
saying?
it was never identified as sexual deviancy then. It was never pointed out like, hold on. That's called you're being irresponsible sexually.
Right.
This is an exit. It's fucking, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, sexual deviancy has been allowed to mutate to where it is culture now. So even if they got cowrie shells hanging out of their hair, you understand? Talk about even if they smelling like shea butter, you understand? They deviant. They down with the deviancy because they're saying to themselves, this is the culture. Before I became conscious, before I read the book of The Wounded Womb, this was the culture. And because the culture is all encompassing, it's pervasive, it's like, yo, dude is on, you know what I mean? He's going through he's Hershey Highway all day, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, yo, I could get an intercourse through that way. You know what I'm talking about? Right. They're like, yo, I could get an orgasm. My bad. They could orgasm. Yeah.
The women. You know what I mean? Since they have been deprived through the womb.
They out here hunting.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that what we're going?
Hunting for O's.
Wow, that's deep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been cemented through the music. Yeah. It's been cemented through the porn, the pornography. It's cemented into the culture. So it's like, to explain this, to say, yo, sis, you know, what's your idea of an alpha? Because alpha denotes sexual prowessness too. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't just taking alpha and, you know, it's somebody who can perform.
Right.
So you gotta overperform. So the hypersexuality, the hypermasculinity is tied into hypersexuality. So that just turns into an all-out, you know what I mean? Like you beating it up. Now they just, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
and this is why
it's like WWE up in this beast.
But we're creating a
But again,
to the point where it's 50 Shades of Grey.
That's what I'm saying.
To the point where they want to be tied up.
All of this is still an emanation of an abuse to some degree.
No, not even some degree, all degrees. And who we are saying who are alphas or betas masquerading as alpha.
Sadists.
They have alpha attributes, but they're not sound alphas.
Right.
An alpha in true nature would be what an assault architect would be to Aset and Heru. This would be a principle of an alpha. Okay?
Facts.
I'm standing. Let me just I'm talking about in this indigenous form. I'm standing in support to create eternal life.
Facts.
I'm standing as a root, as a pillar, like the twin pillars.
Right.
I'm standing in foundation, right? I'm holding up the mother. So we together, not in competition, we together can continue our left-right, our life cycle.
Facts.
And so with everything y'all been saying, my concern of the consistent dysfunction, because we see, like you're saying, it's everywhere. It's in the conscious community, it's in mainstream, it's the whole planet, right? So, what I got earlier, Blue, which was something I want to bring back to the family, is for the brothers, is that transparency. Part of restoring the male power and restoring who we are as indigenous power men on the planet is coming to grips with what our faults are. So we can let them go to grow. We can let them go to grow, right?
For us.
So we can let them go to grow. And a lot of our brothers, this is a key that I want to bring up. We talk about the sisters that have been abused, and I can say this: 90% of the women I've ever met in my life have all been sexually molested.
Facts.
And that hurts me. That's atrocious. That's an attribute of the dysfunctional male principle that has diseased our own family. But what we don't talk about are the countless men who have molested not only in the community out within the family, but how the jail system perpetuates the culture.
Facts.
Let me tell you something. Even me amongst the Bloods, right, in the 90s, one of the things that happened with the Bloods in the 90s to the 2000s in the East Coast, can't talk for everybody else, was the big homies that were wilding out in the jail will come back in the hood, and the little homies that would idolize them and thought they were the big homie, such and such and such, these big homies will come back and rape these little drops.
Domination.
So it was I remember like, it was a precise cleanup thing around the Bloods, but also the Crips started doing it too. G-checking these abusers in the gangs that would be predators to these young brothers and smash their manhood. And then send them back out here all types of ways. And you wonder why little homie want to tear everything up and kill everybody, because he's dealing with so much pain and he can't tell nobody because he doesn't want to appear not to be a man. He wants to appear to be not masculine. So all of that built up PTSD and trauma he's got from either the big homie or somebody he trusted, or an uncle or a father or grandfather or the jail system. Now that's why they all ravage in the community. We see it in Atlanta, we see it in Compton, we see it in Bronx and Harlem, everywhere. So we need to be, the brothers who have not been exposed to that, we need to set up a conversation piece where we are allowing our brothers to vent to brothers. See, because only steel can sharpen steel. You know, all due respect to my sisters. But men have to step back in now and be a listening ear and to be an extended brother to our brothers who have been abused. Because if we want to begin to heal the dysfunctional male, the dysfunctional alpha, we have to give space where brothers can vent on when they've been hurt. And know that they won't be judged by brothers, but they'll be embraced and empowered and supported with their healing so they can be better men for our women. And that, I just wanted to add that.
Absolutely.
I definitely agree.
Absolutely.
Of restoring the power, you know? And it's hurtful, man. Like, when I heard about the whole Zulu thing, I was hurt, man. Like, the Zulu Nation, I can't believe, I'm still scarred. I'm PTSD. I'm keeping it honest with y'all. That has, as a child of hip hop, as a child of our community, and raised in New York with my brothers, I have PTSD, not only of knowing that happens around the gang community, but to know that molestation has been happening to our brothers in the culture. I mean, how many brothers who have been touched the wrong way who may not stay? How many Harvey Weinsteins do we have in hip hop? And how many rappers have been untouched, and R&B singers, men who have been harmed, who are walking? I wonder why he rap like that. Why he always rapping like that?
Why he always
was he touched? Did somebody Harvey Weinstein him into hip hop? Why is that brother always aggressive? Why he's always over extra? It's something that's I look at that as pain. Something's happened, brothers. Our brothers are in pain, and so my sisters, listen, wherever you may be, to women that I ever loved, give thanks to y'all. If I ever hurt anybody in honor of my brothers, who are probably not here to speak for themselves, I restore my aunt for my dear brothers, who probably came from a dysfunctional rape molestation place himself, and he perpetuated that onto you. So as his brother, as my brothers are here, we restore love and balance in this moment. May you sisters have better healing, and may you brothers who are hurt, who have become trolls online, me and Brother Rich talked about that. The trolls are hurting. That's why they go on log on every time to attack Brother Rich, Supanova, Blue and Red, or whoever, and we just here serving him. Because you are hurt behind that keyboard. You've been touched inappropriately behind that keyboard. You've been molested and violated. You have a PTSD 2 or 3 times over. But there has to be a place of compassion and healing. Brother Rich, you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I had a conversation with a sister about the article in The Root that said black men are the white supremacists of the black communities. That was hurtful. So that was that article kind of went viral. And
that's deep.
Yeah, they was it was kind of crazy to hear them say that, knowing everything, being a black man in America, knowing what we're up against every day. So I'm talking to a sister about it.
Let me not even start. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, so I'm telling her how crazy the article sounds. What she told me was, it sounds crazy, Rich, when you view it from a mainstream culture perspective. From mainstream culture, you guys are at the bottom of the barrel, y'all make less than us. But in subculture, when you guys are given an opportunity to control things, you treat us like how white people treat y'all. Case in point, Rick Ross. his recent comments about, man, I gotta fuck it if she signed to me. You know what I'm saying? He said that on
That's a Weinstein statement.
On 105.
That's on Weinstein. That's what Weinstein.
Yeah. So what some of the sisters are saying is, in mainstream culture, yes, we're on the bottom, below them. They know that. They're above us in mainstream. But in subculture, when we get the opportunity to run shit, we treat them very bad. We abuse them.
The acquisition
we continue
of power simply to abuse it is what makes us repaired as denuded, hurt, torn individuals. The only thing that's going to allow us to level up is to put our foot on someone. Because that's the society that we come from. That's exactly every single thing about the society is showing you and teaching you that's what power is about. You don't get power to chill with it. You don't get power to be pious. You get power to see what you can do with it. How far can you go? What can you get away with? Can you get away with murder? You know what I'm saying? OJ did.
They said power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
And you know why that does?
And I call this vampire culture.
Yes. Continue.
Homosexual culture is vampire culture, aka i.e. hurt people.
Woo, that's deep.
You feel me?
I feel you, brother. That's deep.
Domination through sexual deviancy to break a person and alter them, and they will be guaranteed to go out and hurt 10 more.
So we can,
self-perpetuating virus.
Hurt.
It's a self-perpetuating virus. And the danger that we exist in now, and I don't want to veer too much off of course, is the fact that hip-hop has now been morphed or devolved into stripper culture. That's what it's turned into. And stripper culture is prostitution culture. And prostitution culture is sexual deviancy culture. So all of the things that you see taking place, from dude deep throating a machine gun to men wearing dresses, and all of these things are a part. It is a telltale sign of the dysfunction of the culture and what it has morphed into.
Let's look at Let's look at the current crap of rappers. Kodak Black, Extension, was it Playboy Cardi? Who else got a charge? A lot of these young dudes got sexual deviant charges.
They got dirty
sexual abuse. They got
dirty D charges.
Dirty Dillinger charges. You know what I'm saying? Why is this so prevalent? Dude from ASAP. One of the ASAP mob dudes. You know what I'm saying? You gonna suck it or not? It's a
not my guy.
Ian Connor.
No. Not my guy.
Not firm.
It was another.
Not my guy.
Ian Connor. You know what I'm saying? And that conversation spilled over. I think Travis might have got caught up in. I don't. You know. If I'm mispronunciating or put somebody's name in it and don't deserve, you know, I apologize to your fan base. But at the same time, look at the new crop of these dudes that are coming in. Right, that are babies of this dysfunction. And they getting straight into this. When I get shorty behind doors, I'm doing her however. I'm ravishing, I'm going savage. These are self-identifying savage.
They're self-identifying.
How do you conversate about civility with a self-identifying savage at the end
with
of the day?
tattoo
locker room
on
talk.
the eyebrow.
Locker room talk.
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
So, but okay, so my pushback, beloved, is this is our responsibility. These are our kids. I would not, I'm on the planet still. You are too. You are too, Brother Rich. No, let me just say respect. I am not allowing, I don't care if we're the minority in the conversation. That's why I give thanks for you two, the twin pillars, and you, Brother Rich, in this platform, because we are here as the antithesis of the madness. And we're saying these are our young people. The millennials are our children. And their dysfunction is showing up because of what was not passed on to them to be better. That's why I say, how many rappers before the generation of the Playboy Cardis and Extensions were already violated. And so they were so drained, they didn't pass on anything as a collective. They were probably individual. Look, even when Jay-Z gave us a powerful salute on the 44 frequency, right? Salute to the pillars. Even then, it became a generational, you old, you know, this is let the young kids rock. Even people from his generation, come on, was saying, hey, You old with that. They don't want to, ain't bumping that. Let's bump this. So, even in his coming into the power, again, the power is within. The whole thing was to make us religiousize and take the power without. Okay? Right. Even if you go back to Kemet and you talk about Amen, the Amen is at the end of everybody's prayer. In every religion, right? Mm-hmm. Right? But nobody is within. Nobody's harnessing Amen. Amen means the hidden, or God that is within. So we're not even beginning to access and tap into God within. We're chasing without. We're chasing sexuality without. We're chasing attention without. Mm-hmm. Materialism, everything's out. So the reason why power is corrupting, absolutely, because we're absolutely outside of our power center. And I'm saying about bringing back to respecting our women as far as becoming knighted by them. Brothers, beloved brothers, those that are listening, I'm not going to talk about the dysfunction, talk about the positive, the functional side. The next time you were in cipher with your woman, the first thing I would like you all to do is take the first 15 to 20 minutes in foreplay and just hold her and breathe with her. I want you to listen for the heartbeat, have her listen to yours. Sync each other's breathing. Breathe at one. Become syncopated in breath. Brother, what will open up to you in that moment of oneness will blossom your experience. See, because it was taught for us to actually continue sexuality. We're sexual by nature. But to be outside of ourselves so we can continue to perpetuate dysfunction. Because they know, like Farrakhan will always say, they don't want the black Messiah to be born. You can only have the black Messiah to be born through syncopation. Through men knighting, serving his woman, and she knighting him. That is cosmology syncopation. That's correspondence. Thanks. Take your time to sync. They don't fear the black Messiah now because we're not taking time to cultivate. Even we have all the genetic makeup to create the black messiahs. We can't activate you're supposed to melanin on fleek. You can't actually activate your melanin unless you syncopate and become one with the rhythmic patterns of each other. Take time to listen to her. Be in tune with her moans and her groans. Have your strokes be steady, concentrated. That means every time you're stroking her, you're sending prosperity through your stroke into her womb. You're not jicking and jaggering and smacking and flipping it. You're thinking about you're being one with her, sending power into her womb. This woman has probably been raped, molested. And so if you have not been raped or molested, you're taking your power force of healing and you're sending the healing through your breathing and through your thrust into that womb. And her moans are coming into you and serenading through you and realigning you and syncopating. And if you both were hurt and you both been molested and raped and disrespected, then your syncopation will restore you to. We need to come back into restoration. Quiet the noise. Now, this may be above everybody's pay grade of consciousness, and I understand that. You may come back to this video in 5 years if we're still on the planet and not out of here through nuclear war. But if you hear me now, and in the next 24 to 72 hours, and you're with your sacred one, take time to make time. Okay? Get in tune and get one with that breathing. Breathe each other into being. Thrust, I want you all to, when you make love together, brother and sister, visualize the millions and billions of trillions of stars and sperm cells and DNA and money. Think about money and prosperity. I want you to thrust each other into prosperity. Think about the vision board is inside the accord of your DNA together. Become one with your breathing. Brother, thrust life into her. Sister, moan life into him and heal and restore him. Only you women can knight him back into his sacred alpha self. And I want to leave you with some healing because there's so much dysfunction. We need some healing, Brother Rich, in Twin Pillars.
We're in that time. We're in that day and age. That hashtag Me Too.
Right.
That's dealing with healing.
Come on.
The revelation or the lifting of the veil of the abuses that are taking place in Hollywood. You know what I mean? that is,
Wow.
that's cosmic. You understand? That's.
And let's
yeah.
While we're talking about this, let's speak to this as well, because I'm noticing it across the board in all of these different genres of abuse. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we're speaking to. And again, it's even based on what we were speaking about in the last conversation when I said, well, what's your end game?
Right.
What are you in this for? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm seeing even in Harvey Weinstein's situation is a lot of young women, right, because they're so self-determined to say, look, this is my field of interest. I see myself being an actor. I see myself being an actor since a little child. Now I'm here. This is the door that I gotta go through. He abuses them.
Right.
They leave. They come back.
Wow.
Some of them came back 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Ended up in relationships with him.
Whoa.
Facts. These are the
Right.
same conversations that I'm hearing with Africa Bambaataa.
Facts.
Some of these people came back to him.
Time and time again.
Time and time again.
Wow.
So the question always is,
But isn't that like our people? We come back to our oppressive.
when we come back,
and
yeah.
again.
Time and time
We
again.
come back. So it's almost like Stockholm with the
Stockholm.
Pavlov.
Whoa.
Put together.
Put together.
People are still waiting for Trump to exert a level of compassion to say,
After he
he's
done
not my
abused them.
abuser.
Yes.
And he,
Right. Every time, every tweet, smacking you upside the head.
all day.
Smacking, flipping, rubbing it down.
Yeah, all day.
every chance he get. Perfect case in point. So you got a population
Fracking. He's fracking.
frack,
Through the
going
tweets.
back,
Tweet fracking.
crawling
Okay,
back
call
to
it
the
right.
abuser.
Right.
Now, you know, are you gonna treat me like a human now?
Whoa.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You
Wow,
understand?
that's deep.
And he's having his way
Right.
with them.
Wow.
It's the same pattern,
And the brothers on their
unfortunately,
knees.
that I'm
you know.
seeing, you
It's
know,
all- it's all
with
abuse.
sisters and young brothers who have been abused. You know what I'm saying? What could they possibly be looking still to acquire that they would allow themselves
To keep.
to be in this cycle of abuse, and how does one break it?
Break it, yeah.
Because I feel if we're able to really get to the psychology of that particular question that
Yeah.
I'm asking you,
Yeah.
then this conversation can be a lot
Could
more
break through.
helpful to
Right.
people in general
Yeah.
that are going through that.
So
Now-
the thing I would say, Blue, is most of us, and I'm saying all of us in different degrees, don't value ourselves. And so we're seeking outside value.
Validation.
Validation, right?
Validation.
And so that can start from maybe the home. Maybe mom or pops or maybe an elder in the family didn't acknowledge you or acknowledge
Yeah.
another sibling over you. So, or amongst
Daddy
your social
wasn't there.
class. So you're going outside seeking these principalities of validation and not necessarily storing it in yourself. And then so society already in fracking your consciousness is already deemed to set up against you. And so you're like, well, listen, I don't got it here. So that's the first. Well, the first thing is I don't got no empowerment here or over there. How I grew up. So you have this pain body. The pain body is attracting more of the fracking to you. The Weinsteins is coming out of the pain body. That's who you're conjuring to the pain body.
Well, but
All through though, there's a point that if to your point about breaking the spell, if you can begin to restore value in yourself and be confident, value needs to be protected by confidence. Because if you say, okay, I'm getting my knowledge of self on, I'm getting my health and wellness on, I feel I'm woke, but you ain't confident in amongst the tigers, lions, bears, oh my, and the jungle, and that confidence is not fortified. But that value is not fortified.
Reinforced.
Then and reinforced. Then the Weinstein spirit can continue to come. Not only in people that don't look like phenotypically like you, but people that look like phenotypically you, and continue to perpetuate what y'all talking about as far as dysfunction.
But my whole thing is, this vampire culture is everywhere.
Yeah.
Every industry.
The sisters on IG that's followed,
Yeah.
they hurting.
They hurting. Yeah.
They've been abused.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ones who were butt ass naked on my timeline,
Right.
they've been raped and abused
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
damaged.
Yeah.
The singers that are telling our babies, me and you, what love means,
Oh.
They've been abused.
Right.
Do you know the Pussycat Dolls said that they was a prostitution? They were
Ring?
part of a prostitution ring.
Yeah, I saw
they
it
just
in
happened to
Infowars.
sing
Yeah, I saw Infowars. Yeah.
And be famous.
and be famous.
Wow, that's deep.
But they were part of a sexual prostitution ring.
Wow.
These movie actors that are the stars in our lives
That we
come
look
to
up to.
find out that we look up to. Come to find out, they were being abused and damaged.
Woo, deep.
You understand?
Yeah, brother, deep.
The rappers
Right.
who taught us how to be men.
Right.
Who helped walk us. What would Jay-Z do? Or what would this person do? Or what would DMX do?
The ultimate symbol of male power when we was young, knocking dudes out was who?
Mike Tyson.
And guess what happened to him?
Yeah.
Guy was abused when he was young.
Mike got abused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I was of the European descent and I had the Wheaties box with a decathlon athlete that I looked up to,
Bruce Jenner.
Greg Louganis.
Oh.
So you
I'm just saying, hold on.
The vampire and abuse, like you saying, brother, is everywhere. I just want to speak.
What I'm saying is what Hollywood has done
Right.
is they've managed to break vampire, the majority of their shining stars, these light beings who came to them, they dimmed their lights.
They refracted the light.
They refracted them and then put them in front of us. And that abuse, whether subtle or not, whether subconscious or not, has been permeating. Whether it's on the radio, whether it's on our TV screens, whether it's on the big screen, it's been permeating into popular culture.
Wow.
And it's been feeding a part of ourselves that may have been abused in the house. May have been abused by the babysitter, may have been abused by a cousin, may have been abused by an aunt or uncle, whatever. We have to deal with the fact that we need healing, not one or two times, not in a therapy session. This has to be the conversation that dominates all conversations if we are going to be a functional society. All right?
Yes, brother. Yep.
Because it's going to mutate if nothing is done to stop it. As we see, it's already beginning to mutate. Do you know what is the most watched pornography category amongst black women? I did the research. It's gay men porn. They want to see niggas fracking each other. Why is that? How could a functional woman, how could a woman in her right mind sit back and watch men penetrate each other? Does it not come from the abuse that they may have received by men? Huh? To want to see another man bone another man? Doesn't that feed something within themselves? Because it doesn't come from a place outside of sexual deviancy. No right person in their mind wants to see a man get broken down by another man. That is an act of violence.
Right.
It's not love.
No.
It's not love. What's going on? Because what's going on in societies now, and I speak a lot about some of these taboo subjects because you got to pierce the veil. You have to break through all of this fake ass, feel-goodisms. No, this is what it is. This is what we do when the lights is out. We talking to your shadow self.
Yeah. Woo.
You understand? And we living in a day and time where we don't know what the next day is going to bring. If the lights are going to be out on some Puerto Rico stuff. If it's all, you know what I mean? Imagine what's going on out there with no electricity and power.
Oh, come on, brother.
In a place or on an island where a lot of people already were in poverty. And what does poverty produce? Poverty is producing poverty-mindedness. Poverty, and you don't, and people don't understand. You can have all the money in the world and be poverty-minded. Harry Weinstein is poverty-minded.
Yeah.
You understand? All of these people in Hollywood with all of the glitz and glamour is poverty. They're poverty-minded. San Fernando Valley, all of them are poor. The strippers are poor. They're poverty-minded because they're using their body as an ATM. The most sacred part of themselves is for sale.
I got it. That's
don't take that.
That's
copyright.
powerful, brother.
No, I'm just saying.
Talk to you, brother. Yeah.
And they're taking and they're projecting these images on my timeline, and they're projecting these messages to people who are rich and wealthy. They have wealthy spirits. They were born and they were created to come to this planet to do something more than put their ass on a sink and give us the duck face.
Wow. That's facts. Wow.
They're becoming poor. They're making them poverty-minded.
Yeah.
These women think that they're just, or these men with their Gucci sneakers and all of these fake ass. The emperor has no clothes. All of these trappings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brother.
Trying to floss. They got no glow. I could look at them. Their auras are dusty.
Shot. But
Don't come.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
I don't promote that. I don't promote prostitution. I don't promote the selling of the sacred temple for to pay your phone bill. I'm not with none of that. I know that there's people in our community and sisters and brothers, and they think because they're part of this poor ass poverty-minded consciousness that that's the way to go, and it's all good because we just human, we're spirits having human experiences. So why not have 20 rednecks run a train on you and make you drink come out of a dog bowl? That's an experience. I'm saying this. You already went through that. Why go through it again?
Come on, talk about it.
You went through that on the sex farms. You went through that in other incarnations. Cut the fucking cords. Pardon my Moorish Latin. I don't want to get flagged.
Yeah.
But we gotta get out of this poor-minded. Going back to what you were saying about the Heru principle.
Yeah.
All of that awkward, all of that waywardness, all of that sexual deviancy is set culture. Remember, when you go back into the teachings, when they talk about a man penetrating another man, that's when he comes into the picture. All right? That's not Heru. That's not Ma'at. Or Set was not selling box on the throne, family. We got to cut that out. We have to eradicate that from our mind state. In the ratchet world, y'all got some shining examples. Even the ratchet people are beginning to wake up. Gucci got married yesterday. Take those examples and turn your life around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to justify this death and destruction, this death culture, this backwards wayward living, and try to stamp that because my daughter is not going to grow up in that world and my son is. I'm going to fight you.
That's
I'm
right.
not going to allow that world to permeate
That's
my.
right.
I got to walk through the streets every day. Do you know what it's doing to my mental health? Huh? Do you know? And to see how our people, we travel. I've been around.
Yeah.
I've been around the world. Our people are looking so poor right now because it's what your shadow self is involved in. You understand? These dudes coming out of angels and lust and all of these places. Y'all think that no, your auras are leaving. It's fading from you. It's leaving you, sisters, with all of this foundation on and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Selling your bodies and whatnot and doing all of this stuff. You need healing. We need to have the conversation about how are we going to heal ourselves as a community.
Let's do that. You know,
You understand?
we need to set up. It's like I said.
Yeah.
You know, you're the community's minister.
Yeah.
We need to set a stage up where we can have a Day of Atonement.
Yeah.
And it's not only for brothers that have abused other people in his life, because I know in some of my relationships I've been abusive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe not physically, but verbally, mentally. I've been running all kind of games. You know what I'm saying? And that shit has caused detriment.
Yeah. I can say the
It
same
has
thing too.
scrambled.
Yeah.
It
Say the
has
same thing.
Yeah.
It's scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some of them have never been the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've apologized to them in public. In private, I want to apologize to them in public.
Yeah.
Our young brothers who have sold crack cocaine need to atone for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that has a cord connected to it that has led to a lot of what it is that we're here talking about today.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me? I just feel that us personally would be better as a society and better as men and better able to trust one another if the lights do go out, when the lights go out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To say, look, I know that this brother got my back. I know that brother got my back. for the percentage of sisters in our community and young brothers, for that matter, who have been abused.
Right.
If it's 7 out of 10, and that was like 3 years ago, it might be 8 or 9 at this point.
Yeah.
There's some brothers out there that got some answering to do. All of them is not dead or in prison.
Yeah.
A lot of them is out here walking around.
Yeah.
We need to allow people to have a forum where they could come and they could atone. Whether that person is physically there or not, we could create a shrine,
Right.
and they could be atoning to their ancestors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be videos that they could send to that person,
Yeah.
wherever they at. It's just
Effigies.
something, whatever. Yeah, they could burn effigies of their former selves.
Yeah.
Whatever. These are all palatable ways for us to start healing in our community. You understand?
Yeah.
For people to get 800-pound gorillas off of their back, so
Yeah.
they don't succumb and get crushed
Yeah.
like Harvey Weinstein, because they're living in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because I've said it before. I said it when them hurricanes started popping off after that eclipse. If this is a sign that Mother Nature, that the divine feminine principle is fighting back.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And ravishing. Then individuals who have discretions with women need to watch out, because it's going to start kicking up
Facts.
in society. I
Yeah.
said this.
Yeah.
And now, that's what we got.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You get all contact.
So-
info, yo.
Blue Pillar 44. All right. Find me on Instagram under that. You can also shoot me email, bluepillar44@gmail. When we have these conversations, a lot of people respond to this level of conversation because a lot of people need healing.
Need healing, yes,
So
yes.
I do expect the feedback to be resounding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is not something that we're talking about on camera and not willing to
Apply it, yeah.
apply it. You know what I'm saying? We started the healing retreats and all of that out of the same spirit of this, that we felt that family needed something a little bit more intense.
Powerful.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit more, interpersonal. They needed a safe haven to heal and things of that nature. So this is just a continuation of that. I feel like we need to find a venue and, provide a stage for people to atone,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and really get into their heart chakra healing, you know what I'm saying, and speak from that place and, get this energy, get this weight off of them, you feel me? So, y'all can holler at me via those different handles.
Yes.
First and foremost, I just want to say that I'm compassionate and I'm passionate about healing our people,
Yeah.
and just ending the cycle of abuse. And I've been around so many people that have been affected by it. You understand?
Right.
The pain of holding loved ones in your arms and both of you crying, consoling, you know what I mean? Like, something has to be done to address the pain that our sisters and our mothers and our aunts and our grandmothers and our daughters and our brothers and our uncles and our fathers and our grandfathers and all of these demons that a lot of people have inside of them, and a lot of the pain that they have to live with and wake up with every single day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We have the opportunity to do that in these days and times with this intellect that we're blessed with, surrounded by, in this community. Your mother, Sacred Womb, Mama Pill, KT with the herbs, all of these things. We have to cherish that.
Yeah.
We did a very honorable thing a few years ago, put our lives on the line, and stood up against sexual molestation and deviancy in our community. We didn't finish the task because the final phase of what it is that Blue pointed out was not erected. And that is the aspect of coming together to heal, coming together and creating programs, having formulas and other things, and bringing other people on board who are also qualified to speak to the pain body.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Blue Pill actually did do that with the retreats to Shasta Mountain and things that I salute you and I honor you for that. All I'm saying is, as a collective, now that we have these venues opening up to us, the Black Lady Theater, we have the Riverside Church, you dig what I'm saying? You know, we could do some things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have the opportunity to do some closed. It don't gotta be broadcasted to the world. We could do some closed door situations and let this thing do what it does. Real thing. Not, we ain't marching for healing and all of this pink ribbon stuff. We're talking about real thing, real applications.
Internal work.
Real internal work.
Yeah.
So Sweat Lodge, like he was talking about in the last video, being able to get the toxins out. We're not going to progress as a society. We're not even going to be able to form a real community if we don't heal. So it is imperative to do what has to be done, and I'm here for all of that. I'm here for that. All right?
I'm here for
love and light.
I'm love and light. I'm here to support that too and echo my brothers with Twin Pillars. And again, this is what we're doing here at Black Magic 363 is we're setting up the conversation to empower and to continue the healing. And brothers and sisters, just know that you're mighty, you're valuable, you are awesome, and you're amazing. Everything of magnificence is stored within your melanocytes and your DNA. And I just ask that the all-great, mighty spirit empowers you and supports you and moves through you. And in this moment, whatever pain you're dealing with, may it be moved from your being, and may you be restored by the healing principle and spirit in this moment for all our relations and all our ancestors and all that came before us that are in us and that will continue to go after us. We ask that you give us a ray of love and light in all of our affirmations, all our passions and our attributes, however we call ourselves in the world, as Moorish, as indigenous, as blacks, as Africans, as Hebrews, as original people. May we be empowered by our original source to continue the chain of love, and may the circle of love and light be eternal. Supanova Slom on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, SUPANOVASLOM, www.supermegagreens.com. Log on to theremedybook.com and get your wellness salute on by getting that ebook. I love and light to everybody out there.
This rich, black magic, black yoni, black phallus, how they turn kings and queens to crack addicts. Shout out Cambada.
I couldn't wait to get a video so I could get that as the intro. Salute.
We out, family. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Thank you.
Came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's two open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate ones. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth, I cannot in cotton shopping. Aquaponic, chronic options. Botanized and pot concoction. Earth a thought, her twat is rotten. Knowledge of my art forgotten. Watch the conscious sovereign doctrine. Not dishonest prophet goblins. Boxing out the box, I'm boxed in. Black magic, black yoni, black phallus. How they turn kings and queens to crack addicts. How they make us lose our sight like bad glasses. They know we invented original mathematics. Black magic, treat home like at Sabbath. I can hear beautiful music and bad static. I attract cash in bags like that's Magnus. Last maverick, blast fast like Zab Jab. Black magic, black yoni, black